Well, hello. Some things are looking a little different, aren't they? Well, welcome back, ladies and germs, to Let's Paint. We're doing, of course, the Undivided Legion, and I took a little bit of a break and did a couple of things. So I updated the base a little bit. I dry brushed a few new things, took care of some of the leather work and whatnot in the armor. But when it came to this base, I figured I'll show you what I had used. I'd used these battlefield rocks. They're little cork rocks, little cork shavings, whatever you want to call it. Kind of squishy, kind of not. They're pretty dense enough. You take that, put some super glue on it, bam, and they come in all shapes and sizes as you saw, big ones to these little ones, and you kind of point them out wherever you want. And then of course I got these Army Painter. Yeah, you can see the price from the local store. The Army Painter little Wasteland Tufts is what I use for these when it comes to the Wasteland ones because they have that brown tone to them. And they have a little bit of a adhesive on the bottom of them. What I still do is I take that and I still put some super glue on it because I don't fully trust that the adhesive will stick and stay. And what I did also was I took a little bit of time to, like I said, update more of the model. I put more paint on it and everything. And I started with a bunch of the chaos markings. So I did the spikes literally just before everything finished transferring, because I was transferring data. 3 episodes. That's about hour and a half worth of footage. It takes up a lot of space. So, figure I was trying to catch myself up so that we could so that we could not have this be a 6-episode ordeal, because this just might be a 5. This should be episode 4. And what I'm really going to try to do is get through this, not speed through this, but get through this so that we can just have maybe a 30-minute finale. God forbid it's any longer than that, because I really don't like doing that. Those videos take forever, and I keep meaning to try a new editing app to see if anything works better, if I like it better. There's no sense in certain things. And we don't need every single step of the process. I say that, but then I feel like I'm just jipping you guys if I'm not going to give you, everything. Damn it. I knew that happened. If I'm not giving you every single step of the way, which it kind of is what it is. And again, that's more or less kind of up to y'all if you want to see every single step. By all means, we can have longer series, longer episodes. And when it comes to those longer series and longer episodes, again, I would stress, dude, y'all gotta help me. Y'all gotta help me. You gotta help me get to a point where I can be the full-time painter that I would love to be. Because I would love to be that for you. It is a dream of mine. I, of course, want to be your full-time painter. I could really focus on everything. We could really make sure that the Sanguine Heresy gets built properly, thoroughly, and efficiently. I could really reach out to everyone more often. I mean, I could do it more often than I am, but we could really flesh this place out. Because the Sanguine Heresy, I wasn't sure if it was even going to catch on. I don't know. I kind of don't care because it is just my little homebrew project, and I've been working on it for a couple years now. Oof, getting close to being heretical here. Heretical with our painting. I don't know. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. There's the matte white gets a little iffy, and that's where I would say, that's where you could thin your paints if it's coming out a little weird and chalky or clumpy, or anything that you just don't like about it. Of course, thin your paints. Use a wet palette. Keep things wet for you. Keep things a little consistent. I do not use a wet palette at the moment because I do not feel like I have a use for it. Not while I'm not being a full-time painter. Oh, excuse me, because I get to paint, not once a week, but generally once a week. If I'm lucky, I get, not even lucky anymore, because I do go out of my way to make time for this. And my wife absolutely lets me have the time that I need to do all this for you. Like right now, those kids are awake, and she has to take I think a test today. So she asked for like 45 minutes to an hour for herself. And I was like, sure. But she's like, I want to do it in our room. However, I kind of need the kids to be awake, and we're still co-sleeping. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I was like, well, if that's the case, I still get up at 5, and I'm usually recording by 6:30. So I was like, all right, we'll play this as usual. I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna record. It'll probably take about 2-3 hours, depending. As it was past 8 o'clock when I was getting to this part and everything. So by now, I know one of them is awake. I don't know if both are awake. I was like, that gives enough time for everyone to wake up, possibly even get fed. And if you need help, of course, you can come up here, knock on the door, and I'll stop what I'm doing, and I'll come help. I mean, shit, they're my kids too. But at the moment, I was like, if you can handle them while I record, like we usually do, then I will finish what I have, and then I can run downstairs and be there. And I can be there for everyone. And then, of course, you can go and do your test. I even took a chance to crush another chapter in my Robot Jocks book. If you guys don't know what Robot Jocks is, it is a movie that came out in 89. My year. And it is a fantastic movie. I love it. And reading the book, the movie was not based on the book. The book is actually adapted from the screenplay that the movie was made of. So we get a little bit of a reverse situation going on here. And it has been quite interesting to see where like some of the original story was, seeing how these characters were kind of depicted. It's been quite interesting, and one of the things that I really love about this book is the fact that I'm basically getting to see all of the deleted scenes, because not everything that was in the screenplay makes it to the screen. Doesn't make it into the movie. So I'm getting to see these things, and there are some great scenes in it. I'm like, oh my God, if you guys had just put this in the film, your film would have actually had a bigger impact, I think. Like it would have been taken maybe a little bit more seriously. And this guy's gonna have to forgive me. I mean, he's dead now, unfortunately, but it stars Gary Graham I believe is his name. Some of you might remember him from other work, even such as like Alien Nation and things like that. I don't believe I have ever seen him in anything else other than Robot Jocks. And to me, that's cool. I can dig with that because I love Robot Jocks so much. It was a huge part of my childhood. I even had custom shirts made for it because I just absolutely adore that movie. I even found somebody, thank God, somebody had made a 3D model of the protagonist robot, the Matsumoto 14. And I hit up a friend of mine because I was like, hey, this is an STL file. You have a 3D printer, and you've offered that 3D printer to me as long as I just have the file. And I was like, hey, I found a file of something that I absolutely want. However, I need to look into this, so I will be right back as I look. And yeah, that model is fucking 20 inches tall. Dude, I don't have time for that. I don't have the money for that because I'm going to have to buy the resin that is needed. I'm not going to do filament. I'm like, dude, I know. No, that's huge. And part of me still kind of wants to do it. So I was like, you know what? I could just paint that sumbitch. Because it's the fucking Matsumoto 14. But I'm hoping that somebody out there, please, if you have a 3D printer, good at the programs that it takes to make the STL files, I'm begging you. This is a call to action. I'm begging you. Please, I want a Matsumoto 14. I want an Obolevsky 42. I want that shit. Oh my god, they would be so amazing, and I will absolutely do them for the show. You will get the biggest shout out ever. I'll make a separate video, purely a shout out video to anyone who can make that for me. I'm not even asking for it for free either. I'll pay for it. Absolutely. But that is like a little wet dream of mine to get that. Ah, son of a bitch. I flubbed it. It's all right. We'll go back over. But that is an absolute dream of mine to get that robot. I would love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And I would love you forever and ever. My hands are almost getting shaky now. I had one of my Java drinks while I was sitting there reading. I was reading, and then I kept jumping back and forth to the painting, waiting for some things to dry while I was waiting for everything to upload. I'm trying to watch out for the islands. I want to give the eye plenty of space to breathe. And man, this white is just... whew. This white is not cooperating, and that is my fault. Alright, I haven't been cleaning my brush for a little bit here. So things are just getting kind of streaky and thick and chalky and not cool. It's not cool, man. It's not cool. But when all is said and done and you throw all the Nuln Oil on there, everything will come together and you'll be like, wow. You must trust the process and trust your instincts. And yeah, sure. This one is becoming a little bit of a problem. But it's alright. It's alright. It's alright. And we're already at 14 and we still haven't even touched the body yet. That's okay. That's okay. I spent a while talking about that Robot Jocks thing, and yeah, it was great, man. And I could totally tell where plenty of the scenes in the movie I prefer over how they were done in the book. No offense to the writer. You did a great job, man. And I would say the reason that I appreciate the movie scenes more than some of the book scenes is strictly because of all the actors. So, Alexander, one of my favorite antagonists, and it's all due to the actor. Uh, Off the top of my head, I'm sorry, but I cannot remember your name right now, sir, so I'll put it on the screen. You did an amazing job, and apparently you do have a little bit of a fan base specifically for your role as Alexander, and I love how you were over the top. You were over the top, and not even in a bad way. I absolutely love it. Because I figured just Alexander was that crazy. Not even like atypically crazy, just that eccentric. He was just that extra. I always loved it. A little bit of over the top villainy is appreciated because I know he's not always like that, and he has a sinister side to him, and he drops the voice when he needs to. The face turns just menacing when it needs to, but then he'll explode in that bad guy laughter, that ha 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 ha, and it's ridiculous and it's classic, and I can't get enough of it. And in the book, he's not like that at all. He's a stone-faced motherfucker. He just very stern, not really robotic in a way, but like the opening scene, it's very much you would even be forgiven for being mistaken that they were two different characters that were in the movie as opposed to the book. Thinking that they were two different characters, I would forgive you for thinking that, because he acts nothing like how it is in the book, and I very much appreciate the actor. The book is just fine. Achilles more or less is the same. I do like Mr. Graham's performance way more than the book. You can tell in the book because he's not an educated man. He can't really read, and that is made perfectly clear in the movie as well, that he can't read. He's illiterate. But we're also talking about a post-apocalyptic future where education is very much just not much of a thing. And I wasn't exactly meaning to make this whole episode about that movie. I really didn't. But damn it, I love it. I love it. I could go on and on about that movie. It's so much better than I think it ever got credit for. And it is a product of its time, sure. Some things don't quite make sense. I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about the character of Tex Conway, and they're like, all right, well, this is I don't know how many years in the future. Why the hell is this man so stereotypically Texan and misogynistic and sexist? Like, why? Why is he that way? Would people really still be this way? And I have a feeling, yes, they would. Especially if you're talking about an undereducated post-apocalyptic America. Yes. You're definitely going to find that. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's from Texas and that his name is Tex Conway. It has nothing to do with that. I feel like you're absolutely going to find that kind of stuff in a post-apocalyptic, undereducated America. Let alone the rest of the world. I mean, Jesus. I feel like the rest of the world would easily just be the same. So I didn't have too much of a problem with it. He was very much a stereotype, His character was absolutely being a stereotype, and that's fine. That's fine. I've met plenty of people where I'm like, wow, stereotypes are real, and man, are they strong. And you just won't get past it. You just won't. Like your atypical librarian. I swear they're bred that way. I'm like, how did people become this? And you can see that they're there. There's another one. And there's another one. And it almost makes you believe in the Matrix. Like, damn, maybe this all is a simulation because there's the same damn program right there. And this brush is really starting to get to me. It's trying to flub up on certain areas and it's starting to irritate. All right. And that just means we got to clean this brush. Because the last little bit that we had after all of the white, we're at 21 minutes. Yeah, we'll just make this a longer episode. I have these transfers over here, and I've got an ultramarine logo with a red skull to denote that he is, in a command role in a way. And then, of course, a little chaos star. And the chaos star is going to go on his knee. I was going to put a company designation on him, but then I was like, meh, fuck it. He'll be fine. Not everybody wore that stuff anyway. And I didn't really see a good spot to put it. A spot that I would be okay with. As I did check out the model, I took some time to really look and see where I would put the transfers because I like putting more transfers on things. Transfers can be a pain in the ass to me, but they could really help sell a model. And I don't mean that in a financial situation. I mean just the fact that you're trying to bring something to life out of this ridiculous little plastic figurine. That's the whole point of painting it. Well, that's the whole point if you're doing what we're doing here. If we're trying to bring this to life, Not to say that is the whole point of painting. I think the whole point of painting is whatever the hell you want it to be. If you want it to be something relaxing to you, then fine. If you want it to be a job, fine. If you want it to be a hobby, fine. It's whatever it is to you. And a random music update. I don't know if you guys remember the little toys Connects, but I had a CD as a kid. I had a game, a PC game, and it was called Connects Lost Minds. The Adventure Begins. And I loved it. It was not I wouldn't say it was a well done game. It was good enough. Especially for a little kid. I absolutely adored it. And while I was at work yesterday, I came across hey, the complicated or the epic history of Bionicle. And I was like, man, I remember Bionicles. And I remember when they first came out and they were really cool. And they didn't quite catch on all that much, but apparently Bionicle just has some really deep, rich lore. And I was like, cool. But then I was like, this is better left for another day when I really want to take some time and get into all this, because at the moment, no, I don't. But it reminded me, of the other toys that I had growing up, and I remember Connects. They tried. Connects did not last very long, if I remember correctly. I liked them, but I wasn't in love with them, I did like them more and more as I further realized that nobody else was playing with it. So I felt like I had something kind of off the beaten path. I guess even a little hipster these days, or whatever you might want to call it. I don't know, or underground or something. I liked it. It was kind of like, being in the Pokemon age and being a huge Digimon fan. Is It was kind of like that. Because it certainly was not big enough. But And now that all of this is painted, what do you say? I give you guys a treat, of course. Treat. And put him together. Geez, it's the least I could do. But you can see exactly what pose I chose here, and you can see that it's not exactly something that I normally go with. It's an interesting pose, at least to me it is. He's got his arm kind of hanging right in front. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. I don't need it too far forward. There you go. Kind of like that. Yeah, all right. There you go. We'll get this other arm. All right. Hold on. Skip. Skippity skip, skip, skip. Oh boy. 22 Jump Street. Yeah, I started over one of my playlists. Because I got to Jimi Hendrix and it was awesome, but it was also putting me to sleep because it's like my rainy day music. Oh, come on. So kind of like that. Kind of like that. Kind of a, not exactly a relaxed pose, but just kind of like, Yeah. And that was a, not a, ooh. For those that were curious. And just kind of looking that way. And I like the red with it. But honestly, with this white helmet, now he just looks like a veteran. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. What's your day job on loose? All right. Ah. I know. If you don't like knuckle cracking, get over it. It's done. Stop. Quit. Oh, man. This shoulder does not want to sit all that correct on him. It's kind of annoying. But we'll get it. That'll work. It'll be all right. I can hear the kids pulling at the door downstairs. They're ready to come up here and dance and play and have fun. Don't worry, guys. I'm coming. Daddy misses you too. All right. It's kind of like that. Not a bad little pose. And then we'll get that backpack on there. And then I will take care of the last minute stuff off screen. So basically the null oil. And we'll get this going for you. All right. So I do appreciate you guys. I very much thank your time, your patience, your patronage, your support, all of your kind words and encouragement, your shared stories, your shared experiences. Ooh, and there he is. There he is, our little sergeant. And we'll get this guy on the turntable for you. So I guess I'll see you guys on the next series. I really don't know what it's going to be. I haven't made up my mind. So until then, I will see you guys on the next round. Please stay happy, stay healthy, and may the Void Father, of course, guide your brush. Later.